and welcome to Fantasy Fives, a football podcast where I chat to a guest, an esteemed guest, shall we say, all about their dream five-a-side team. This week, we're joined by Scottish politics legend, now superstar stand-up comedian, Mhairi Black. Mhairi, are you a stand-up comedian / superstar politician?
I don't know what I am these days, man.
Because when I was reading it, I was like, what is it? Because you're on tour just now,
Yes,
which is a mad sentence for a former MP.
Yes.
It's just you and Lembit Opik doing the circuit. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I know, I've just got Come Dine With Me to do now. Yeah, that'll be...
He must have done that, surely. He must have done.
He did that.
Did he?
Yep.
Right, okay.
Absolutely.
Because what's it like being on tour?
It's fun, actually. It's really good. Because, like, the reason that it sort of morphed into comedy was last year at the Fringe. We didn't know when the election was going to be. So I was like,
Right.
I don't know if I'm still going to be an MP doing this or not. And that,
So you'd already signed up to it, even though,
So then that kind of
the
shifts.
chat was like October, November election origin, wasn't
So
it?
it kind of shifted the goalposts quite a bit because I thought, right, there's some things I really want to say, but I can't if I'm still an MP.
What is that
you know,
like?
it's-
Because sometimes if I'm doing radio or I'll occasionally draft a tweet and I'm like, that's not worth the hassle in case this backfires. As an MP, what is that like?
Oh, it's murder, absolute murder. Like that's kind of why I slipped comedy into it, was because I thought, well, if I can call it a political comedy, then anybody who gets offended, I can be like, no, it was on, see, I didn't really mean it. Do you know what I mean? So, like that, it just gave me a wee bit more freedom to kind of talk my mind. And then when he called the election in May, I was like, yeah, dancer.
It's so good. Because how does it feel now? Because you were an MP for, I think, 9 years.
Aye, 9 years.
It was all that. You were the youngest.
Yep.
Do you know what's funny? Just for clarity, we're recording this the day after Scotland lost to 3-0 to Greece. And this morning on the way in, I was reading James Wilson, youngest Scotland player, and it lists 18 years, 1 month, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
You're the only person in politics I've ever seen that. It says, what was it? I read it to 20 years, 7 months, and 25 days or something like that. You were.
Aye,
Like,
something like that.
was that a hindrance to you, do you think, that tag on you, or did it make you a kind of
Do you
more of
know,
a
it was a
rebel?
kind of... There were pros and cons to it either way, because on one hand, it made me stand out a little bit more. So there was, in some respects, it was kind of easier for me to get my point across because more people were wanting to come and, look at this little freak that's ended up in politics. Do you know what I mean?
Is that how it felt?
Oh, aye.
Is
Aye,
it?
it was like, see, even when I'm walking through like Parliament, or even if you just start a new job and you're walking through and everybody knows your name, but you don't know anybody's.
Yeah,
Do you know
okay.
what I mean? It was that really awkward sort of feeling like you're in the spotlight. And then on the other side, the flip side of it was obviously like, there was much more pressure and attention put on me, you know,
Yeah.
and folk just waiting on me to slip up.
And then see that first speech you did, because that got
Yeah.
what, 10 million hits like
Aye,
straight
it was
away.
mental.
Did that feel good, or just like, oh god, they're going to be
It
watching
just
me now?
felt mental.
Did it?
Because like I did this speech and I thought, oh, that went pretty well. Cool, that's that done. And just got on with my life.
Yeah.
And then it was somebody for the media team came down and were like, do you know you're trending first in Nigeria? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
It's never a good
Aye,
sign, is
so
it, man?
it was bizarre to say the least. And then like I saw who was it, Mark Ruffalo retweeting me and stuff. And I'm like, the Hulk, the Hulk knows who I am. Like,
That's so. The first time I ever went viral was because Piers Morgan retweeted me. That's yours is well better, man.
I know.
It was glad because I remember it was such a big thing. At the time,
Aye.
I was slightly disappointed as you're a Thistle fan, so that bumped me down in the fame levels, man. And then the Hoff comes along, you're like, all right,
I know.
you're further in. And Kunzberg, allegedly.
Oh, can she fuck?
Do you know, I've done so many interviews and they bring up Laura Kunzberg
Yeah.
being a Thistle fan. I was like, I've never seen her in
Nope.
months.
No chance.
She's not drinking in the Woody beforehand, man. And then, so you did like 9 years, because I asked you just before we started, because I was fascinated with this. Did you ever have a real job before that? And you said,
Yep.
so did you do uni, work to the chippy, straight to MP?
Yes.
That is insane.
It is mental. Because there was ended up getting used as a quote and something. Like I was getting interviewed about it and I was saying how bizarre life was at that time. And I'm going like, I've had folk offering me like 3 autobiographies. I'm like,
Straight away.
It would be a pamphlet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was born a fried a fish. I'm an MP. Like what?
Chapter 3, maths is shite. Like going that way. That would have been so good to
Just
read. Though.
bizarre.
I was born a fried a fish. I was MP.
Yep,
the
that's
absolute Catholic road. Like that's so good.
My granny would be proud.
Yeah, that's
it.
nice. And then what about now? Because like, what are you 30?
Aye.
So
Okay.
is it nice having? Because I remember chatting to you one time. Do you remember we were in Drygate after a Thistle thing? And
Aye.
I remember you were saying like, was it Monday and Friday were like travel days, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you were in Parliament.
Mhm.
See now, how does it feel having free time?
Oh, it's. Do you know what? Right, I keep switching between this is brilliant to then also just panicking and going like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I feel like I should be doing something, and I'm not
Yeah.
enjoying relaxing.
Are you
do know what
not?
I mean? So that's how I've like done up all the house. I have learned to cook. I have.
What are you making for Come Dine With Me? What you got lined up?
I'm learning like risottos. I'm making ramen. I'm making all sorts.
Nice.
I'm turning it into a world kitchen. here.
I'll tell you this because you're on tour, and I looked. We were chatting through your
Mm-hmm.
tour dates before we started, and it's quite a big tour you're doing for
Aye.
like kicking off. See, once you finish tour, because you'll go into Edinburgh Festival, you do that. See, time off that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. Thinking, fuck, I don't need to go to Arbroath today.
Because I remember though, after the Fringe last year, because I decided, right, I'm going to go on holiday after the Fringe.
Great shout.
That's what I'll need to
Yeah.
do. And like that, I'm getting gearing up for my summer holiday, and everywhere's going like, autumn is here.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, fuck off, I've not had summer yet.
You got to get the sales. You got to hit M&S sales and all
Aye.
that. You got to do that.
So,
Have you got a holiday lined up?
no, we're going to book it this week.
It's that,
So,
I finished tour on the Sunday and I was in Greece by the Tuesday this
Aye.
year. Yeah, it's the way to do it. Like.
Brilliant.
But then, yeah, because it was my wee boy hadn't started school, so it makes it so much better.
Yeah.
And then what's next then? What's
I don't know,
coming up?
man. I don't know.
Because it feels like you've fast tracked your life a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, aye. It's like, see, even if you think of the Hulk retweeting you at 20, it's all downhill for there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I keep telling folk that I've peaked too soon.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
everything's
yeah.
going to be worse.
I'm trying to think of the Thistle equivalent. Do you remember Stephen McConnell scored twice in his
Yes.
debut? And then everyone thought he was going to be absolutely class. and then
Slowly
that was it.
disappeared.
And I was really excited because a lot of people who listen think, wow, former MP. You know, I'm excited because you're a Thistle fan and we can chat.
Yeah.
Thistle because I've seen you at games. How much does football play a part in your life?
I mean, Thistle plays a big part in my life because I've got my season ticket and everything, and I like the
It's a family thing as well. I've seen you with family at games. And
so I get to. It's just basically an excuse to go to the pub.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? After
Sometimes
it,
the
and-
game's the worst bit, isn't it?
Aye,
Yeah.
like it's the halftime come down when you're like the baby's wearing off you, like, and you start to realise the quality of the football you're watching.
It's so true. I remember, like, I said to my wee boy, I was like, "Do you want to go to the Thistle game?" So he's 5.
Yeah,
And he was like, "We'll just watch it on TV." And I was like, "You don't realise how shit we are.
Yep.
That that's not a thing. Like,
Aye.
we're not even going to get that in the dodgy box we've got." Like,
it's like my wife now knows it's a big deal if I say we're going to watch Thistle. Because she's like, oh, they're on the telly. Oh, right, okay, that's fine. I don't need to go anywhere. Cool.
yeah. Has she ever gone to a game?
Aye, she in the early days when she was trying to impress me, she came along to a game and one was enough.
Do you remember what it was? Do you remember who or anything? Or...
Do you know what? I actually can't, but I've got a
Did we win?
photo of her. No, I think it was a pure nothing game where
Oh.
it was just a draw. In fact, I don't even think there was a goal. But like that, she bought herself a Thistle hat and everything.
That's
and
sweet though, isn't it?
I was so chuffed at the time,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, you liar. I have married a
catfished?
fraud.
Yeah.
Aye.
Amazing.
So,
Do
yeah.
you chat about when you're on stage? Do you chat about football and that, or is it just kind of?
Well, before the tour started, I was talking to her name's Sally Reid. She does a lot of production stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
Sally.
she had said to me, I think you should have like a chair at the side with maybe a Thistle scarf and a can of Tennant's and just there. And I was like, that's genius. That way, if I need a drink, it's right there. Perfect. So that's exactly the
Is it-
setup that I've got now, just a wee Thistle scarf.
And also, it shows how long I've been doing this that now I'm thinking each day a can of Tennent's is tax deductible for you. Like, I was like, that's well played. Because we're obviously going to chat about your dream five-a-side team in a sec. Do you think, like, because it feels like when you stop doing politics, you would end up doing Loose Women. Like, did that, like, do you know that way? It seems to be that kind of trajectory.
I mean, I'm
Did you ever do
glad.
it?
No, I've never done it.
Do you not even think Ian
No.
Sterling's done it? How do you, like, he was a guest presenter.
I'm all right not doing loose. I'm okay with that. Like,
What was it like doing the media stuff? Was it,
do you know, I was all right with it because
because you're normal.
I was like, you get asked a question, you answer it. That's as simple as it is. And then I very quickly realised, like, Oh, if I answer it completely honestly, that creates problems for you and you. So
Is that how it works?
yeah.
Okay.
So then it ended up because I was like, look, I'm never. There's times where I've maybe not said something as harshly as I think it, or I've maybe left out one specific detail. But on the whole, like, there's no question I've ever been asked where I haven't answered it. So once the media team realised that, there were times where they'd come to me and say, like, "Gonna you do this debate?" And I'd be like, "Remember, I'm going to answer questions."
Yeah.
And he'd, "Aye, all right, no, don't. Okay, somebody else in."
So you get away with it. That's so
I
good.
was like, I'm going to tell the truth, so it's up to you whether you want to put me out or not.
Have you had former colleagues come to the show?
I have actually, and they didn't warn me they were coming.
That's the worst.
And there's one bit where I talk about my colleagues quite a bit, and it's quite awkward when I realise
You can see them. Oh, and other people start looking at them.
I'm like, it wasn't about you.
Who's the guy? Was he a Labour MP? The one that kept setting fire to the curtains?
Oh, hi.
He comes to my show every year.
Does he?
Yeah, because I remember the first
What's his
time.
name? Eric?
I can't remember. He came over to me and he was like, I think I'd done off the ball. He's like, I'm a big Dundee United fan. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what do you do? And he went, I used to be an MP. And I was like, oh, what happened? And he was like, just Google me. And then he left. And then I was Googling him. I was like, oh.
That's a good answer.
Just as he walked away, and I was like, right, sex scandal, surely. No, setting fire to curtains. All right, good on him. So let's get into your dream five-a-side team.
Yep.
So we have to have a player from the team you support
Mhm.
and a manager, someone from your phone book. So was this an easy choice to pick five, or because in terms of football, do you just watch this or do you watch all football? Like,
Well, it depends. Like, see if it's good quality football, I watch it dead easy.
Yeah.
But like, I need to be in the mood for it if I'm going to go and watch like Alloa and like
on BBC Alba, the half
Do you know what I
five
mean?
kickoff on a
Something like
Saturday night. Yeah, I get
Um,
that.
So it like I don't live and breathe it. If there's football on the telly, I might skip the channel.
Yeah,
It
that's-
depends what it is. But no, Thistle's my
It's
that's
be all
what
and end all.
I'm-
So goalkeeper. We're starting off with your goalie for your team. Who are you going for?
right. So I put so much thought into this.
Have you actually?
So much
I
thought.
love this.
Like I had
To
a
the
bit
detriment of your
I had
career.
a bit of paper last night, and I was like, that going, no, I can't do that. And it's not footballers.
Great.
I've got like there's one footballer.
That's
I think.
better. Right, okay.
So
So,
in goals, we've got Jennifer Coolidge,
Stifler's mum?
Stifler's mum.
Why
Because-
Jennifer Coolidge?
So there's two reasons. One, I think she's got the physique for in goals. Do you know what I mean? She could just like boom thing right out, push folk out the way, catch a ball. And I think she would bring a good attitude.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? She would keep momentum going
Do you want to hear a good stat?
always.
I've gigged with her.
Shut up, have you?
I hosted the Gilded Balloon press launch either 2015 or 2017, and she was on.
Amazing.
And that wasn't even the best one. I think I just remember introducing her and she did maybe 3-4 minutes. Or was it at the stand? I can't remember. The same festival I also gigged with Caroline Rhea, who was in Sabrina the Teenage
Yep.
Witch. And the highlight of the whole Fringe was watching, have you ever seen Auntie Donna, the sketch group?
Yes,
Australian sketch
aye.
group? And Dave Benson Phillips
Yeah.
from Get Your Own Back.
Yep.
And he was trying to explain his show to Auntie Donna. And for the first minute, he didn't even say the word gunge. And I was like, Dave, that's a whole fucking show. What are you doing?
I also like the idea of somebody having to explain to Auntie Donna what their show is.
So it's funny. I ended up becoming Auntie Donna. Go watch that thing on Netflix. I became friends with Broden because we look the same.
Right.
Like we
Oh
have
my
a-
God, you do.
Yeah, we have the exact same face.
Yes.
Like one time we were in Australia and we walked by each other and we just stopped. And then someone came to my show thinking I was him. And
Amazing.
vice versa. So Jennifer Coolidge in goals. What
Yep.
made you pick her over every other person in the world?
Honestly, just for the banter.
Yeah.
Like, because the other factor that I had in my mind was five-a-sides isn't really all about the football. It's about the pub after.
So this is becoming a theme. A lot of people seem to
So,
think yes, yeah.
I also had to factor in who do I want to sit and have a drink with after it. Jennifer Coolidge.
Coolidge,
and
straight
she
away.
just went right up
What
again.
right? You going tenants? What's she gonna have? Do you think?
Oh, she would either. I think she would either go for some extravagant cocktail,
Mhm.
or she'd be like, "I want to be one of the normal guys," and she'd get like bitter. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Just a pint of Boddington spit down in front
something
of her.
like that.
Oh,
That's what I mean. She'd bring a good attitude to everything.
that's
She'd
great.
throw herself into it.
This is such a good start, and I love when people don't like. Sometimes we've done ones with journalists, and they go for football reasons, and it's big and it's
Yeah.
all the players you've seen. And I love that. But Jennifer Cullen goes a great start.
Yep.
Are you thinking fluid outfield? Are you thinking have you got a defender, midfielders? What are you thinking?
What did I settle with again? Right, so I've got Jennifer Coolidge in goals.
And who's your next one? Just give us your next one.
I've got I'm thinking more in goals, sort of 2 defenders. Then it would be, in fact, no defenders, because I'd have Bannigan, 2013 Bannigan.
So he's your Thistle player?
He's my Thistle player.
2013 Stuart Bannigan.
He is a reliable midfield.
Yes.
He will dominate the game. He's got captain experience.
At current times, he has been booked 12 in his last 15 games.
Do you know what I mean? He's got good temperament. He's got...
So, it's right, let's go. So, 2013 Stuart Bannigan. So, obviously, the year we won the league, well, we won the, what would it be, the championship?
Yep.
Did he have hair then?
Yes, he did.
Right, okay.
He did.
So, because he must have shaved, I think he shaved it for the Dingwall game.
Aye.
I think. Were you up in Dingwall?
Yes.
What? How was that? So, if you...
In fact, are you talking about when we lost in the penalties? Or?
Yeah, the penalties.
No, I wasn't there.
You're not there?
No, I was watching it in the Woody beside the most infuriating woman that I've ever seen in my life.
Jennifer Coolidge?
It wasn't her, no. Jennifer Coolidge would have ragdolled this woman, right?
What was so bad about this woman?
She was sitting, like, she'd had too much to drink, right? It was the start. But then she just didn't care about the football, but was pretending to.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember, like, her son was called like something like Brian, and she just kept going, "Do it for Brian Thistle." And we were like, "Shut the fuck!" And she kept just talking out the side of your face, and you're like, "It's penalties, going to stop." So then when we lost, we were like, "I can't settle. Like, we're going to the winter, Gills. Go."
Not even an upgrade.
No, we're just getting out of here.
I went up and so I was gigging in Stirling at like 9. So I went up and then obviously we conceded all those goals and then I had to leave at full time. So I listened to extra time and penalties on the way down the road. And I remember getting a phone call asking me if I wanted to go on Radio Scotland. And I was like, no. And it was great listening in the car because I could swear.
Yeah.
And I got on stage. I'm still wearing my colours. Like I literally arrived in the theatre. I walked on stage and I started talking about lockdown. And I said lockdown 1 and the guy in the front row went Partick Thistle now. And I was like, not the time, mate. Like, this is heartbreaking. Awful day. Awful day. So, Bannigan from that time, have you spent any time in his company? Have you met Stuart Bannigan?
Yes, I've met Bannigan a couple of times. Lovely man.
Last 2 times I've seen him, he's had a bogey in his beard. Well, I told him once and I didn't tell him the other time. I was like, oh.
He should have learned his
I didn't tell him the first time. And then the second time I was like, right, this is becoming a theme.
I know, he should learn.
He's a guy who has played for Thistle now for probably 12, 13 years. Would have moved if he wasn't injured.
Aye.
Why did you choose him over your Doolan, your Erskines?
Because I think, particularly around 2013, nothing got past Bannigan. Like, he was the most reliable player and just he was able to control a game and hold a team and everything. So I'd put, and especially if I've got Jennifer Coolidge in goals, I'm going to need to have somebody.
He's happy to take the booking. He'll take the foul as well.
Know when to pass back.
Cannot stress how much money I would pay to watch them talk to each other. Like, that is box office. It'd be so good. A great choice so far. So Stuart Bannigan, would you tempted to go Erskine or Doolan, or is Bannigan your favourite player in that time?
I will explain why I didn't go for Erskine. Right,
later
once
on.
we go up front.
Who's next?
Yeah, Coolidge, Bannigan. Then I thought I'll also bring in Rob McElhenney.
Okay,
right.
We Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep. One, because I love It's Always Sunny and I want to have a pint with him.
Yes.
He understands football.
Yes, he does now.
And did you ever listen to the It's Always Sunny podcast?
No, I've never listened to that.
Right, so they did it for a while and then just stopped without telling anybody.
Very on brand.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was one episode they did where Rob was talking about how, like, he gets this real sense of justice with things. Like, even say, like, if you're driving and somebody goes up the inside and tries to cut in or anything, Rob Justice comes out where he's like, no, that's wrong. I can't. No, we need to drive the car up and he'll end up in a battle with this person who's oblivious that he's in a battle with him. And I was like, I really feel that. I really
Do you
feel
get the
that.
rage?
Oh, I get the Rob Justice. It's now a part of our family's language.
Oh, is it? Is it kind of
put away Rob Justice, right? Just, I'm like, no, but he wasn't getting served next. It was me. Do you know what I mean? So I think Rob would keep a good handle on making sure everybody's behaving themselves.
How, like, is Always Sunny one of your most quotable shows then? Or?
Oh, aye, it's my favourite.
I found myself singing Dayman and just walking down the street the other day. It's just one of my favourite shows. I think you need to be a certain type of person to enjoy it.
Oh, aye.
Because after a while, you're just like, why is he fat one series? Why is he
next.
skinny?
It's like you've got to ride the chaos.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
What are the two brothers called?
The McPoyles.
Oh, absolutely horrific guys.
It's also the fact that like when there's places where we've been where like my wife will lean into me and just be like, he's a McPoyle. He's a McPoyle.
That's
and it is. It's
the
like,
biggest insult you can get.
It's a description that
Yeah.
fits a few people. Do you know?
That's whereabouts in particular? Is there a certain region McPoyle heavy?
I want to say Falkirk.
Let's see if you're doing Falkirk Town Hall and tour. Yeah.
No, so it's you just come across them.
Have you watched the Wrexham documentary?
Do you know I've only watched some of it purely because I get scared that Ryan Reynolds is going to corrupt Rob.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I'm
by
like,
the way,
he's so Hollywood.
there's
I'm like,
some
leave him alone.
there's some incredible episodes. I think it's series 2, and Paul Mullen, the striker, talks about his own son having autism, and then they get I can't remember if it's a young fan, and they meet up, and it's honestly one of the most beautiful. I remember Haley came down and she was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like,
It's
watching
beautiful.
Wrexham. It was just stunning. Because you've dabbled in the wee documentary field.
Yes, I have.
How
recently.
did that feel? Because obviously you're a stand-up now, so of course you have ADHD. That's the rules.
Yes,
Like,
aye.
everyone has to have it.
Everybody's got to be neurospicy to be in
I've never
this.
heard that term,
Oh, aye.
neurospicy.
It's like when you can't quite pinpoint what it is. You're
That's
just neurospicy.
such a good turn of phrase.
And there's to me anyway, it's like a heat chart.
Like
do you know what I
Nando's.
mean? It's like, right, what flavour of neurospicy we talk? All right there.
So are you lemon and
Proper.
herb? Or are you Vindaloo? Where are you?
I'd say I'm slightly above. I'm like, I'd say medium.
Okay.
Let's go medium.
Okay.
But I occasionally tip into the hotter.
'Cause nice humble brag. What was it like filming a documentary about yourself?
Oh, it was murder.
Did it feel weird?
Aye, completely.
Because your family's in it.
Aye, which was a big thing because, like, especially when I got elected, it was just like the world's media was just upon me, you know, and like camping outside the house and everything. At that time, I still lived with my mum and dad, so I'm going to get out my mum's garden. Like, what are you doing? So, like, we had to, and there was no rules for it, and there was nobody really there to kind of guide us or protect us from it. So we just kind of had to, like, get brooms.
Like curling
Gaff,
them
aye.
away.
Just like, leave us alone.
Because I can't remember if it was in the documentary I read about it that was saying when you got elected, you were in the garage.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Aye.
what was was
So-
that in the documentary or did I read it? I can't remember.
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. It's I went out for a guy called Stokes' 21st, right? And we were up in garage, and it was the weekend after I'd made that maiden speech.
Right, okay.
So all these newspapers started going, Mhairi goes out in Suckhill Street to celebrate her maiden speech. And I'm like, no, it was Stokes. Right, never mind, that's by the by.
Poor guy.
But we get into garage, and like, we're all drinking, and we'd been pre-beving and everything.
Yeah.
And like, mind they used to have that big screen.
I've
and you could-
texted that screen a few
Right,
times.
you
Yeah,
text
yeah.
it. So they had up in the feed where the official garage account said, anybody who gets a photo with Mhairi Black gets a free drink. And I was like, oh, fuck off. Like,
And you're steaming at this point, seeing that.
aye,
just,
steaming.
oh.
And my pal who was worked in the office with us, he was kind of like my sort of media guy because he could just protect us and he knew me and everything and I could trust him.
So actually employed as well?
Aye,
Right,
aye.
okay.
So the two of us ended up out in the smoking bit, holding each other's faces, like sober faces, sober faces, sober faces. Like, right, we just go and talk to the manager. We just go and say to them,
Yeah.
listen, we're having a fun, going to know, you're going to take that down. And I was like, but you do it. I can't pronounce my S's now. So he's like, right, I'll go and do it. And that was
And did it get taken down?
I get taken down, but it was murder for like 15 minutes.
I can't imagine
Just
anything
full-
worse than that. Like
Aye.
actual just announcing it.
And then, of course, the next time I'm up at the bar, I'm like,
Yeah. You selfie.
free drink, free drink.
Did it work?
No.
Did it not?
Did not.
Because
Did
it
not.
was, I think it was, I found it so funny. You think politics is really, really sexy. And then I saw your campaign office and it was between a dog
Oh.
groomer and like a Subway or something.
Aye. That's exactly it.
Like, what is, I thought you'd be all minted and stuff like that.
No. Well, see, that was genuinely because I wanted to be able to have the office on like the main bus route. Because part of the problem with particularly politicians is they all go into like business centres
Yeah.
and they disappear and nobody knows where to find them. So I was like, why don't you just go right bang in the bus route and that way everybody can see.
And how,
you
see when you do it,
get
to be
you and everything.
serious for a sec, how hard is it not to take other people's problems home when they're coming into the surgery with you?
I mean, yeah, no, it is pretty hard. I suppose not. It depends what the problem is. Because, like, particularly with the constituency that I had like really, really poverty-stricken bits and then really affluent bits.
Okay.
So, like, in the space of 3 hours, you go from, like, I think I'm getting chucked out the country tomorrow, or I can't feed myself, to those steps outside the community hall have not been swept in 3 months. And it's abysmal. It's a joke. It's in, like,
How do you
20
deal with that,
minutes.
though? I would just tell people to fuck off.
Oh,
I wouldn't
well,
have the
that's-
temperament.
I realised that I just stayed quiet.
Is that-
to tell
is that
you
the
the truth,
way-
I would just nod and be like, right, we'll get on top of that, don't worry. And then the minute they would leave, I'd be like screaming into my bag, just like, oh my God. Like, what a life you must have if that's the biggest concern
Yeah.
you've got. Like,
Yeah, it must. And even like now, when
Mhm.
you're looking at it, did you ever get? Because the only time I've really seen this is sign language interpreters. So
Yeah.
obviously having deaf family. Sometimes I remember we're filming a thing at a deaf club and deaf social club in the south side of Glasgow, and the interpreter came up to me. Was like, "Do you need me?"
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Why?" And she went, "I've been asked to do 8 hospital appointments by people just coming up to me all the time." And she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm not meant to do this, so can you just cover me?"
Yep.
Did you see when you're out? Did people just come up and tell you stuff?
Aye, all the time. I mean, there was good sides and bad sides to that, right? Because, like, the bad side was when you'd be out drinking or whatever, and somebody would come up and try and talk to you about their pip, and you're like, I'm not in the frame of mind,
No,
mate. Like, and
no.
just
I nearly qualify for PIP right now. Like, let's not do
Yeah,
that.
don't.
Yeah.
But then equally, there's other folk who'll come up and they're just mad characters that start talking to you, you know, and it's. I mean, one guy was like sitting pure staring at me one night, and I thought, God, right, here we go. There's somebody who can't goes and everything.
Yeah.
Whole night, and then later on, and you could tell like he's trying to get courage here.
Oh.
He's just drinking, and I thought, God, you could see him coming over. I'm like, right, here we go, and he comes right up to me and he goes, "See you, I'm voting for you." And left, and I was like, all right,
Lovely.
okay, I'll take it.
The Paisley Uncle Sam.
I know.
That's so good. Right, let's get back to your team. So your 4th pick, you've got Jennifer Coolidge, Stuart Bannigan, Rob McElhaney.
Yep.
Who's number 4?
Number 4, I'm going to go for Bob the Drag Queen.
I don't think I know Bob the Drag Queen.
Bob the Drag Queen was on RuPaul's Drag Race,
Okay.
and is just superb, absolutely superb.
So where are they from?
America.
Right.
Um,
So were they on Drag Race
yeah.
US? Okay.
They would not have a clue as to what the game was or how to play it.
And talk us through the outfit of Bob.
Oh no, I would leave that up to Bob.
Right,
I
okay.
wouldn't dare.
What's no? What's their usual attire?
Oh, their usual attire is, I mean, how do you describe fabulous? It's just always
That
a
is the
level of
best pull
fabulous.
quote. How do you describe fabulous? That is so good.
I would have Bob the Drag Queen also for the good attitude. I think there would just be determination.
And is she
there.
wearing heels?
Probably.
And how do you
Probably.
think Bob and Jennifer Coolidge are going to get on?
Well, that's the two of them are going to be a team from a distance.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? One covers up the front, one's at the back, and then we've got Bannigan and Rob to pick up the pieces in the middle.
I cannot stress how much Stuart Bannigan would hate all of this.
I know he would.
Quite a quiet, shy man. And just
She's got a drag queen and Jennifer Coolidge.
Stifler's mum just shouting at him. So good. Why? Like, are you a big Drag Race fan then?
Well, I was back in the day. I've not kept up with it
It's like
because
season 14 or something
he's
like
just
that, isn't it?
milking it. He's just firing them out
So
all over the place.
what made you choose Bob over anyone
Because
else?
I like Bob's no nonsense attitude, which I think is needed on a park, and I also, like I say, the general. She would take no shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also has got a good physique to be able to not fuck out of people. Like shoulder tackles.
How
all
tall is
round.
she in general? Is she towering
Tall.
above?
I think
Yeah.
she's tall. Aye.
That's going to be intimidating to the
Yeah.
opposition, isn't it, as well?
And especially being that fabulous, because of course football is still a very macho,
Yep.
misogynistic place.
Yep.
What are you going to do if you've got a 6-foot fabulous queen in heels running at you and could take you out? Do you know what I mean? It's got to play mind games.
I'd
for the
pay money to see
opposition.
it. I absolutely
Aye.
would. And then who's your 5th pick?
My 5th pick, I thought this team is a mess, so let's go for Lionel Messi so that we have a chance.
Okay. I didn't expect that at all.
So that's
So, what do you think Messi's the best ever? Is that why you picked him, or what?
No, I suppose Messi's really good at pulling things out of thin air, and there's going to be a lot of thin air on that park, especially for my team.
Who do you think? So Jennifer Coolidge isn't there. You've got Rob McElhenney. You've got Stuart Bannigan. You've got Messi. Who is going to help Bob do the back of her dress up? Which one of these three is going to help step up at that point?
Wait, do you mean football wise or like makeup wise?
Makeup wise.
Makeup wise. Oh, it's got to be Jennifer.
Which, if she's not there, which of the three guys? Bannigan, Rob McElhenney, or Lionel Messi?
Do you know what? I'm probably going to say Rob. I
Yeah.
feel like Rob is the most.
He's been on set.
Yeah, and he's seen the world. He's experienced people.
He's been to Wrexham.
He's played a gay character himself, so
Yes.
he might
Yeah.
be able to lean into that a little bit.
Why did you choose Messi? Were you not tempted just to let it go to shit and pick someone else? Or?
I was, but this is how seriously I take your game, Ray. I can't take it. Can't be a total piss
Yeah,
take. It's
okay.
got to.
Okay.
And also, I feel like for all their good attitude that Jennifer and Bob the drag queen would bring, eventually they'd start getting down in the dumps about not scoring. So Messi's there just to occasionally
Yeah.
knock one in. And
He's just going to carry the team.
yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
I'm trying to think of the Thistle equivalent.
Give Bannigan somebody to talk to.
When we signed Scott McDonald for those 6 months, he
Yes.
scored all the goals for the team.
Yes.
Kind of saved us, saved Gary
Yep.
Caldwell's job. Did you enjoy?
What a time.
I hated Gary Caldwell
Oh, God,
so
no.
much.
Absolutely despise them.
I think I
Like
spoke
to the point where I think I personally dislike him. And I don't know this man.
I-
I've never spoken to him before, but I'm like, I really don't like him.
I think I've spoken about this in the podcast before. I interviewed him on live on
Oh, did
radio,
you?
and a head of Radio Scotland messaged in and said, "This is so awkward. I want to crash my car." I called him an idiot within I think 3 minutes,
Amazing.
and it got worse. Like, do you remember he took the players on the SAS training
yeah,
day?
the army stuff.
So I said, "Oh, did you do that because you knew you were in such a bad manager? We were going to get in a relegation battle." And there was silence for about 7 seconds. And even Tam Cowan, who I was on with, Tam was like, "It was too awkward for me to even chip in." It was like, oh, just such bad times.
But he also strikes me as somebody who can't have a laugh.
Yeah, because he moved the dugouts.
Aye,
He swapped the dugouts,
that's right.
like, because that was a wee power trip for him. PowerPoint. I hated
Which
him.
I don't get. It's
No.
just like a dick swing.
Who's your favourite Thistle player of all time then? Is it Stuart Bannigan? Who have you got a soft spot for?
My softest spot is for I would, if I was thinking with my head, I would go Chris Erskine, right? Because he was
The most talented player I've ever seen.
Messi
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Like he was the
But
one.
he was also Messi one game and shite the next game, which is why he's at our level.
He was Messi with an I and a Y. Do you know what I mean? He was both.
That's such a good description.
Um,
Oh, if you want a good Gary Calder, do you know about us selling Chris Erskine?
no.
So
Oh wait, that rings a bell.
we wanted it to be. So Gary Calder wanted to release him.
Uh-huh.
We couldn't do it. So he said he would sell him. So it'd be undisclosed. So
Yep.
we sold him for £1,
Shut up.
and it became an undisclosed fee. And he moved to Livy, and Stevie Lawless found that out. And do you know what Chris Erskine's nickname is?
Yes, Squid.
Squiddy.
Yep.
So Stevie Lawless found this out, and at Livy he was called Quiddy.
Jesus,
The
of
whole
course he
time.
was.
Because that's
Of
what
course he
footballers are
was.
like. So yeah, it was
For £1?
for £1 we sold him
Oh,
for £1.
man.
Chris
I will
Erskine.
hunt down Gary
I've
Caldwell for
three or
£1.
four different people have ever said that. So who is your favourite there? Who's
man.
your soft spot?
So my soft spot is my childhood dream was Scott Patterson.
I talked about him on radio yesterday. He's
Yep.
maybe the classiest player I've seen it for a while.
I just loved him because, well, two things. I loved his hair.
Yes,
Right.
big mod
I've
style.
based
and this
myself
is
on
maybe
it.
2000.
Like, you should have seen her face
My
when I
knee's
went
dodgy.
in. She's like, what haircut do you want? I was like, do you know of a defender called Scott Patterson?
The one that used to play alongside Paul Dees. Like that one, yeah.
So that also because like this is the reasons a 5-year-old falls in love. He always wore long sleeve strips, and I thought it was the coolest
Oh, I
thing
didn't
ever.
even notice that.
He just always had long sleeves, and I was just like, yeah, that's badass, man. Look at him. It's like
never
Liam
would-
Gallagher
yeah.
on the park.
Have you ever met him?
No, I don't think I have.
I've spoken to him very briefly, but that's it. But he still looks really cool.
Like he's one of the ones where if I met him, I would genuinely be starstruck.
Giddy.
Like I wouldn't be able to talk. I don't think.
Were you not like when we were at that? Were you not like
Oh,
that
yeah.
with Chris Erskine that day?
Yeah,
or?
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Chris Erskine's my other one, where I'm just like, I love you.
So when this was it, we did a 10-year reunion for the team that won the league for Jags for Good, an amazing
Yeah.
Thistle charity, and not just to single out Party Thistle, but lots of other clubs are doing amazing work just now. But Neil, one of my mates, runs Jags for Good, and we did a 10-year reunion, and you were speaking. I remember backstage, you were like quite nervous speaking to some players,
absolutely.
whereas you were speaking in Parliament like 2 days later. Like,
yeah, no.
just weird.
It's like the only. This is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm telling you this. The only other person that I've got that starstruck with, that I was an embarrassment, was I went to do my surgery one day in Johnston Town Hall, at the same time as the Singing Kettle were in.
Big.
And I seen Gary for the Singing Kettle and his big trombone, and I was like, hold my bag, I'm going to get a picture.
Did you go get a picture?
Oh, I was queued up. I'm like kicking 5-year-olds out the way. Like, Gary!
This is maybe one of the most Scottish stories I've ever heard, by the way.
So I've got a photo of me, and of course he's in the photo. Like,
and
I'm beaming.
I see when you say that the photo when you got elected. Who was the Labour MP
Oh,
who pulls
Douglas Alexander.
that same face? I've never seen a guy look more pissed off. You're not even looking at him at that point as well.
He's now because when I stepped down, he stood in West Lothian, so he's now a Labour MP there.
So he's back in.
And when I heard that he was running in West Lothian, I was this close to just doing it for a laugh. Fuck it, go and bam him up.
And so, right, you're on tour, you're going everywhere from Arbroath to Skye to Dunoon, all around Scotland. I think you end in the Gaiety and Ayr, which is a beautiful theatre. Yep. And then in between that, you're heading to London.
Yes, I'm doing...
Have you been back since you got...
I was back a couple
of
weeks ago because I was doing news night.
Great. What a sentence.
It's, I mean, it's a whole lot of hoo-ha for...
Is it fun?
It. I mean, fun's a strong word.
You must have done question time.
I have done question.
What's that like?
Before. I enjoyed it because it was pretty easy.
Where did you do it?
Where was it?
Were you in like pure Brexit country, or were you?
I think it was in Brexit country. Okay. It was definitely in England somewhere. Because what was even worse, because I thought, this is going to be fine, and it was good because like the government were making an arse of everything, so it was pretty easy. We hadn't been investigated by the Polish yet, so it was all good. And,
you can just copy and paste that for numerous times. Yeah.
So like I thought, this is great, so I'm like sticking the boot in and all this to them. And then afterwards, they're going, right, so we've just got you all a taxi to share back to London. And I was like,
is that what happens?
Kidding me on.
No way.
So like that, I was just going, I'm feeling really tired. Stone cold awake the whole journey. I was just like, I'm not talking.
Oh, that is so uncomfortable.
So
they must know that.
I think so. I was like, I wish you'd told me that beforehand. This is a bit brutal. Do you know what I mean? But I know it was a long journey.
That's amazing. And all we need, so we'll go through your team. So we've got Jennifer Coolidge, Stuart Bannigan, Rob McElhaney, Bob the Drag Queen. Is that the correct name? Bob the Drag Queen.
Bob the Drag Queen.
And Lionel Messi, of course.
Yep.
The manager needs to be someone in your phone book.
Yes.
Who are you going for, Mhairi Black?
So initially, I was going to go with Nicola Sturgeon because we could get a free team bus. But she's been cleared, so that's out. So now I'm looking.
Literally meant to make the same joke as you started. I was like, she's done it more succinctly. That is
so now that idea's gone, I looked at my team and I looked at my phone book and I thought, I can't really put this upon anybody else. So I've got my own number saved in my phone.
So you're going to take the reins?
I'm going to deal
first person to do it, first self-nom. I like it.
The consequences of my actions.
Who do you think would be the hardest to manage in that team?
Myself.
Yeah.
No, in that team, I would say the hardest would be Messi.
I think the big problem for you would be is if you go on holiday and you still want to watch it and your iPad bill's 11 grand. Can't imagine that happening to any member of parliament, so that'd be fine. This has been such a good team. So if they want to get tickets to see you on tour, where do they go? To Gildy Balloon website?
Gildy Balloon website, or go to the theatres directly.
Do you have your own website?
I used to,
because I was looking, I couldn't see one.
No, because I took it down basically because I was like, I don't know what to put on it.
Yeah, to be honest. I'm getting mine redesigned now.
And it's all.
You feel like a wank.
It's weird having things for yourself. Maybe I'll get there one day, but at the minute,
just a picture of you in the Singing Kettle.
Me and Gary. That's it.
Mhairi Black, an amazing Fantasy 5 teams. Go see Mhairi on tour all the way down to Soho Theatre, finishing in July in Ayr, and then you going back to Edinburgh. You're doing the Edinburgh Festival.
Doing the festival this year.
You looking forward to it?
I've not even thought about it yet, so I'll get a couple of weeks and I'll be shining myself.
Perfect way to end
Something will come together.
Mhairi Black, thank you for joining us on Fantasy 5.